Thanks, guys, for tuning in to Afterlife, the part where we get to talk to the actors from Last Life. You just saw episode 9 that wraps up this season, and there's some more exciting things that we have to talk about here, guys. So I'm going to start with another Slayer question, my favorite. Sloan and Taylor seem to be betraying each other left and right this whole episode. What's happening here?
We're trying to protect each other, but we don't know that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of, missing. We're just...
Yeah. She doesn't know that I know that it's her last life.
Yeah.
And,
You're trying to protect each other, it looks like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you're really fucking up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Our thing is that we have to hurt each other, but for, the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be together
We finally
without that.
Yeah, exactly. We stepped a little outside of ourselves to try.
Really nailing it with the relationship, guys. Really nailing
Relationship goals.
And you open up, you think here you've got this spell book and...
That was shocking.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah. That was not planned.
No.
From my end.
Shit out of luck. Yeah. And you're just over here behind the camera loving it.
I am, yeah. I feel like the fans are going to be upset. Well, they probably are upset right now. Just because, they love Slayer so much. So for them to for this to be the ending, I know they're mad. I know they're upset. Sorry, guys, but that's just the way
you keep watching.
That's the way writing goes. Any good show is like that.
Yeah.
You always want to put people together and then you want to break them apart. So I think it's what had to be done.
But who knows what's next?
Yeah.
I mean, they're soulmates.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't feel like you can hold two soulmates back but for so long. So we'll see what happens.
How is it playing these scenes with magic?
At first, it was a little weird.
It's funny having to do the movements and, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, and having to, get down, because, I didn't realize, doing magic in season 1 to season 2, I think it changed a little bit because I watched season 1 and I noticed a lot of things that I'm like, ooh, okay, no,
Adjustments.
I mean, it's, playing in an imaginary world, so that's always a challenge, but it's super fun.
Yeah.
And from our director here, what is it like filming that?
Oh my God, it's so stressful. I mean, post-production is more stressful, I think, than actually shooting because I love being on set. Mm-hmm. I love, the actors are so prepared, so it's not really crafting performance because they've already crafted one.
Right.
But it's, I love seeing them bring the characters to life and really bring the story to life. So I prefer to be on set, but it can be a little stressful. I mean, in that final scene, that showdown, there were so many things happening. Mm-hmm. And, to try to plan that shootout, I mean, we have Dr. Stanwyck and Shane versus Taylor. Then Sloan and Nare are back there fighting it out and coordinating.
Right.
That scene was a full day.
Boxes
really.
It was a full day.
Yeah, there were people on the side that were throwing the things across screen as she was supposedly casting.
Yeah.
So it was hectic, but
How much planning goes into that, before you guys shoot?
I wish more. Because, we're a small team. We were actually super, super grateful this season. A lot of fans from last season decided to come on and help us for free as, crew, which was so wonderful.
Yeah.
Which makes a big difference.
It made a big difference, but even with that, I look forward to the day that I'm on, a set, a big set.
The full crew.
Well, yeah, where we're not worried about, you can just focus on acting, And even, Nancy, she's not a producer, but all the actors are running around doing other things too that you really shouldn't have to worry about when you are on a set.
Right.
As a director, I just want to be able to look through my monitor and not
do
be
one job.
thinking about the smoke machine, or is craft services going to arrive in time because people don't need to be hungry. So yeah, but it's been a wonderful experience.
Craft services always arrived on time.
You gotta feed people.
Thank you.
And I mean, there's a lot of characters that come in and out of these episodes, and in the casting process, I mean, what do you look for besides just really great arms in these guys?
That's pretty much it. Just walk in, nope, all right.
I don't know. I think it's sort of people who get the story, like people who love supernatural things, because sometimes people come in and it's like obvious they probably never watched a show with magic because they seem unfamiliar with like using a different part of their imagination.
Right.
I feel like the imagination it takes to bring a world like this to life is very different from like, you know, an indie drama where it's just relationships. This is relationships and magic, you know, so looking for people who get it.
Yeah.
It was interesting for me because I didn't really get to use magic.
That's
So I
really-
got directed a lot on how to cast and all that because
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, this first
Maybe.
season, Taylor doesn't do anything with
Yeah.
that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's been I mean, I've liked watching all the characters' arc. Like, I love when a story does that. You know, Sloane going from, I feel like last season, Sloane did whatever she pleased without
Yeah,
thinking.
she went from more of where Taylor's landed
Yeah.
to like now like going back and being like introspective and being like maybe I shouldn't be like that anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe life actually is precious.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I'm Team Bloodborne. I'm all for it.
well, there's so much that's happened from season 1 to season 2. I mean, you've gone from A to Z. You've kind of gone from Z to A. And you guys have all, like, really, your stories have just so intertwined. And this is it. This is the last episode of season 2. Is there anything that you guys would like to say to wrap it up, or what's going to happen next?
Well,
What do you want to say?
Well, I'll say this. You know, this story's not complete. I don't feel like it's even fair to leave the fans. We have so many fans that have invested so much into, like, the story, both financially. Some people have really supported us, and then also emotionally, people are, really love this story and love these characters. So we will finish it in some way, shape, or form. For us, I really think it would be great to wrap up the whole Last Life series as a movie.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're able to then go back and, like, touch on some of the backstory, you know, come back and review things that we've already seen in season 1, season 2, and I feel like you'd be able to go back and watch season 1 and season 2, and then season 3 would just feel very complete.
Right, so make it as a feature.
A feature.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
you
a
could go
feature
more
would be
in depth
great.
with that.
Yeah.
For sure.
And is there anything that Sloane would like to explore a little bit more? I mean, do you think that she's just going to keep playing it safe? Because that's kind of what having your last life sort of, is that what that means, playing it safe, or?
Well, I mean, she's going through like a little bit of a redemption process and stuff because she doesn't really know like what happens when you don't reincarnate. But, like, I think she's like a little torn between like what side am I on right now, you know?
Yeah, and so here you are, stuck in the middle of the Bloodborne,
yeah.
and you don't really have any.
I'm just as excited as the fans because they're the writers.
Well, I'll say this. We do know exactly what the very last scene is of this entire thing. And I think it's exciting. And I will say this, you know, you talk about being cautious, but if I knew that it was my last life, I'd throw caution to the wind.
Yeah.
Because I think the whole point of this show is that you talk about reincarnation and stuff, but I think the point of her being a vulnerable character that doesn't have another life is that's how we should view our lives.
Right.
Is that throw caution to the wind, because what is the point of playing it safe?
Well, Taylor agrees.
Clearly, yes.
Well, that is so awesome. Thank you guys for sitting down with me and talking with me and the fans about this. Guys, who knows what's going to happen next? Hopefully there's a feature. I have a very good feeling that there will be. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you liked the most out of this whole entire season and what you would like to see happen at the end of the day. And thank you so much. We'll see you soon.